So a few videos ago, I talked about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and let's just say that the topic is pretty... But while everybody was focusing on the anime of the year, or the best dramas or main characters and all of that, I had a different thought in mind. Yeah, doing the votes for these were fine, but I think they are missing a category that I have been wanting to see for years. A category that I think should definitely be in the next and future anime events, and that category being the Garbage Anime of the Year. A lot of times, I see people get confused by my reviews like, "Hey man, you just said that you liked the Rising of the Vibrator Hero, but now you change your mind and say that it's bad? What's up with that, you contrarian?" Well, to correct you on that point, no, I did not change my mind. I don't think it's really a surprise that a manga about a guy using a dildo as a weapon to defeat the Demon King is not well written. I'm saying that it is bad, and I like it. Sometimes a manga that can be perceived as objectively bad can be way more entertaining than something that is objectively good, because in terms of preference and subjectivity, everything is free game for everybody. Let's look at it this way. Yes, anybody can see that a beef Wellington created by one of the best chefs working in a 5-star Michelin restaurant is scrumptious, but at the same time, I would also chomp down on a greasy, unhealthy burger created by a depressed, debt-ridden college student working on your local Five Guys. And I feel like nowadays, people are too concentrated on all of the gourmets while not giving much appreciation to the junk food. Iconically terrible animes like Domestic Girlfriend, Redo of Healer, Solo Leveling, Ghost Stories Dub. These are all so shit, but nobody cares because it's still fun to watch anyway. These are animes which are important to the anime industry and constantly shape it to the way that it is today. And I feel like not celebrating or not even mentioning these pieces of trash is a big disservice to not only the whole industry, but to you yourself. Because let's be honest, even if you try to deny it, you would still enjoy these animes. So that's why in this video, I'm gonna be talking about an anime that can truly be regarded as garbage. An anime that, although we are only halfway through 2025, I can confidently say should be the winner for the Garbage Anime of the Year. And the anime that I am talking about is none other than the thumbnail of this video, the Meet our main character, Albert, who is a part of the 7-sibling perfect distinguished family of the Shiunjis. Now to make this easier to remember, we're gonna be calling his siblings by the color of their hair, meaning we got Pinky, Bluey, Greeny, Orangey, Leafy, and M&M. Now Alberto likes this girl who Pinky knows, who the anime establishes is his twin sister, because they look so alike. But before he can even make a move, Alberto got the painful experience we boys go through called the NTR treatment, which sucks, but like, hey man, it is what it is. Time to go to the gym. After the gym, now they're home and peacefully eating dinner together, until their single dad, who they believe has the balls of steel to conceive 7 babies, is like, "Listen guys, I have some groundbreaking news that will change your life and the situation of your relationships forever. You are all adopted." With that being said, god damn, this shit is busted. Now dinner is over and the kids are talking to each other like, "Damn, did any of you guys know about this?" Well, no, we all just look so similar to each other. I mean, it's almost like we all came out from the same vagina. I could never have foreseen this ever happening. Well anyways, regardless of the situation, I think everybody can agree that this information doesn't do much because no matter if we're blood related or not, we are all family and nothing is going to change that. Amen. So desu ne. You're so right, One-chan. I have a girlfriend anyway.
No. Do you mean in real life terms or anime terms?
What? What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing. I just had something in mind, that's all.
Okay then. Now, if there's nothing else to do, let's all go back to our rooms and contemplate how this plot twist has changed the dynamic of our relationship for the rest of our lives. A few minutes later, Alberto goes to have a bath, but to his surprise, he finds someone else had already occupied the steamy room before him. And he's like, "Whoa! What are we? I didn't know you were in there."
No, it's okay. I don't mind if it's you, Daddy.
What?
Oh, I mean, I don't mind if it's you, Oni-chan.
That doesn't really make it better, but okay. I'm gonna go and leave now.
Chotomate kudasai. Can you do me the way you do me as always?
Yeah, sure, but like, Can you not say it like that? Oh yeah, I just love the way you give me back shots. Leafy, please. What? I'm just bonding with my lovely Onichan after all. Or rather, my step Onichan. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm gonna leave now.
おい何言ってんだそんなのダメに
私、悪い子。
悪い子なんかじゃないまあとにかく
Excuse me? Now, if you haven't watched anime before, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, they literally just found out that they're not blood related today. And this scene is implying that he's already rejected her even before this. Does that mean... Yes. It means exactly what it means. Leafy confessed to Al Pacino before they even knew they weren't related. You heard that right. She was fully dedicated to commit genuine incest on her 17-year-old brother. And considering that this day is also her 15th birthday, she has confessed to him back when she was 14. And I know some people would say, oh well, that's just a 3-year difference. No. They are not the same. Now, nobody knows about the situation except for these two and the younger brother Macklemore. That is until on the same day he told Pinky about it, even though Alucard only told him and wanted to keep it a secret because he doesn't want Leafy to get embarrassed. So like, why did you do that? Anyways, Al Capone is like, listen Bozo, no means no. At the end of the day, you are just a confused teenage girl and no matter what, I will always be your Oni-chan and look out for you the best way possible.
Oh, okay.
God, I love it when you tell me what to do, Daddy. Leafy, please. Alabama walks out of the bathroom, but to his surprise, he finds Bluey confronting him in his room. And he's like, what the heck is all of this? And she's like, bam. Chotto mate kudasai. What the hell is going on in this family? Don't worry, I'm just here to experiment on something. Nani? Nani kore? There are better ways to do this, Nuna. Please! Just lay down and stay still, my little doggy-kun. Oh god fucking damn it. At least Leafy made me feel like an S, but you're making me feel like an M? Yeah, about that. See, I watched it all happen in front of my eyes. What? And you didn't think of stopping it? Or like, have yourself wash her back instead of me, someone of her opposite sex? Well, this is an anime. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Anyways, as I was saying, the reason I laid on top of you on your pheromonically covered bed that has your manly scent is because I was wondering if you were gonna turn into a beast and suddenly pin me down and spank me as you f my because now that we know we aren't related, I'm glad to know that the next time Leafy does anything like that again, you won't be making a move on her because... I want you to do it on me. That's what she really wants to say. Like, okay, sis, you're telling me that the only way you can verify his feelings is to do all of that instead of having a genuine heart-to-heart conversation with someone you viewed as a family member for all of your life? Like, be so for real. You want his and like, I mean, I kind of get it. In case you guys didn't know, this was created by the author of Rent-a-Girlfriend, which is a manga that of recent times have been kind of controversial. I mean, I've always thought that it has been, but recently it's been on another level. Now, I've dropped the manga a few years ago, and I really don't want to reread it just to make the point for this video. But the author always does this thing where there are these NPCs who just fucking glaze over the girls.
Every chapter, every time they show a girl going out, like just walking, like one of the girls, they always have like guys on the street, like background characters going like, oh my god, she's so hot. Oh my god, she's like a model. So like her legs, so slender, her boobs, insane. And like every panel, every chapter they do that. There's always like some random... I wish I had a girlfriend like him. Oh my god.
I do not need to show you anything because you already know what he's talking about. That shit has been such a big meme that even the translators of this manga make fun of it at every opportunity. And for good reason, because this show does the exact same thing over and over and over again. But to give this shit some credit, the way this anime does it has more of a purpose and feels less pathetic than Rent-a-Whore. For one, these NPC glazers reinforces a different point of view to our main character that his sisters are objectively beautiful girls. And this usually follows up to Alberon going, yeah, they're hot, but like, they're not that hot. Which makes sense to him because he has been living with them for all of his life, so naturally he is more used to the sights compared to the NPCs. I kinda like that. It gives the audience time to learn more about the main character and see more of it in his point of view. It's just kinda creative. For 2, these sequences are different to the other one because while those always kinda shit talk on a main character for being around these like goddesses or whatever, Al Caproni is different because he's actually fucking built different. Guess the fuck what? This guy has fangirls. Yes, as in, he also gets the glazing treatment too. You would often see shit like Pinky's friends asking if he's single or not so they can ask him out. Like, this is uncharted territory. I would never expect something like this to come out considering this is created by the same guy who made this guy. And I'm about to say something that is kind of outlandish and maybe gonna age not well, but I think he genuinely has the potential to be a goated horror main character. Now listen. Before you guys come in with Rentaro, I just want to say that he isn't really much of a character. He's a god. It just isn't fair to compare a human being to someone who was quite literally created to be the giga chattest ever. That is not a word, don't quote me on that. But if you compare him to the likes of the others like your Futaros and Blob number 1 and Blob number 2, it is quite literally not a competition. For one, I think it is great that he has justifiable morals and is not controlled by the horny. He has always been a family man and all he wants to do is look out for his siblings as he feels it is his responsibility to do so as the oldest son in the household. And what I like about this anime is that through him, we initially see that the anime actively speaks out and discusses how weird this shit actually is. Most animes I've seen where they do these step-siblings romance or family but not really blood-related type of relationship is by them going, who gives a fuck? Me. I give a fuck. Like, okay, I get it, you're biologically fit to but y'all still grew up with each other. Just look at this interview of Emma Watson having a kiss scene with Daniel Radcliffe, who have been together since they were children.
Daniel must be your brother at this point, so was it awkward at all? It was incredibly awkward. It was like, yeah, it was like some weird social experiment. It felt like we grew up together and then they were like, okay, kiss. It was weird.
Huh. I wonder how Daniel sees it.
I know, to be honest, it wasn't too awkward. It's quite enjoyable. I quite liked it.
Yes, men are just inherently freaky. But this is my point. I personally think it's quote-unquote fine to make a story with isekai, but only if they are done well. And I think one of the ways to do that is to acknowledge the absurdity. I have to see some sort of resistance. If not, to put it bluntly, you are not okay. Like, I'm sorry, you need therapy. And I'm just glad that through this main character, we see that he is sane and tries to disprove the sibling dynamic as something more.
だって血のつながった兄弟じゃないって分かったってことは遺伝子上仲のいい異性
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. Okay, but all in all, what I'm trying to say is that I like this main character as he is different, and although I wouldn't want his pee-pee if I were any of the sisters, I can't really blame them. Cause I mean, apart from his deep voice, he's also, okay. Moving on, we're gonna tackle the Disneyland arc, or rather, as they call it, how creative. And this is where we get to see more of the best girl of this series. I say that in quotations because she's the only one that I actually find attractive compared to these people who I only see as characters who drive the story forward. Also, the anime does this thing where they tell you the ages of all of the girls and they single out Orange as the only adult there, like, hey guys, you can legally simp for this one. Yeah, don't worry bro, I'm good. But what I don't get is they also kinda don't care, since in other scenes you would see characters talk about how they are in middle school and then the camera pans to her bare ass? I'm so confused. Alright, getting back to the topic, Alberito and Orange got straight away from the others, so they decided to go on a little date. In this date, we see her being hot as shit, stealing the hearts of the NPCs, even making some of them change their profile pics to her. And we also get confirmation that she is actually the best sister out of the whole series. While everybody was bullying Aranja when they were young, Big Sis Orange was always there to defend him and have his back. This is pretty cute. Plus, she also says some sus shit, but like, come on, that's kinda hot. Anyways, now this date introduces the start of something hilarious, so I'm just gonna shut up and let the scene play for itself. So dramatic. So you know how romance in anime usually starts with boy saving girl, which then leads to girl being in love with the boy for the next 100 episodes? They kind of do the same thing here, and I'll talk about it again later, but like, they just look fucking ridiculous. So in here, this girl tripped on some wooden plank, and before her drink could splash on Orangey, which is already super close by the way, the hero saves the day by getting himself wet. Okay, ignore the overly dramatic sequence for a moment, but how the fuck did he do that? You were sitting on the opposite side, and you only started to move after her drinks flew out of her hand. So unless you are a trained assassin that has insane speed, how the hell did you go that fast? Okay, so now Orangey is like,
Ma, why did you do that? Are you okay?
ma'am, it's water, it's okay. And he's like, don't worry sis, I did that because I wanted to. Because I am your little bro. No, really, he actually said this.
守るよ。弟だから。俺は姉ちゃんの弟だから。
What? Why does that get you wet? I don't get it. I really don't. Why is that the moment that changes your view on him? Never mind the fact that he saved you from lemonade, but he literally just said that he's your little brother. Like, I'm sorry, are you telling me the girls that bros on me all those times were actually in love with me? Whatever. We finally meet up with all the other family members and yay, we're back! Woohoo! The night is over, they watch some fireworks, and now they're buying merch before they go home. With the exception of Pinky and Ollie, because this is where they start talking with each other. Like, about how they have been raised as twins, or how no matter if they're blood related or not, they're still gonna view each other the same, or how she's gonna come clean with some information that she's always held back from saying before, like...
Ski.
Buckle up people, if it wasn't already crazy enough, shit is going to go bananas. So she's like, as twins, you know? I love you as twins. And he's like, haha, oh, of course, there's no way you thought of it any other way, right? Because anyone who thinks otherwise would be an idiot. Now what they didn't know, a genuine idiot actually accidentally stumbled upon the conversation and overheard Pinky saying I love you to her Oni-chan. So she's like, holy shit, we are in a hentai right now. So the next day when Greenie went to work out with Alibaba, she got all weird and started asking questions about Pinky and how he feels about her as a sibling, instead of, you know, actually asking the real fucking question like if she confessed or not. But no, we have to drag out this misunderstanding even further. So Greenie asks Orangey to help investigate the situation, and to do that, she goes on another date with him to find out if he has feelings for Pinky. But wait, wouldn't going on a date with him increases his feelings towards you instead of Pinky? Especially with you constantly grabbing his body and shit, which kinda defeats the purpose if you're trying to investigate if he'll put his hands on his siblings or not. Oh, I guess you have some ulterior motives because you seem to be enjoying the date. Sure. But moving on, she goes and tells Greenie like, yo, nothing happened, I'm pretty sure you misheard, case closed. And she's like, dayo ne, so desu ne, of course there's no way Pinky would say I love you to her Oni-chan, desu ne, and sen. Wait a second, I sent it to the group chat! Now first of all, how did you do that? You were literally just talking to her one-on-one just a second ago, but you accidentally clicked on another chat as you were taking a bath? Oh well, at least you deleted it within a microsecond, so there's no way anybody saw that message, right? Oh my god. Next episode starts, Bluey and Arda Güler are playing Twister with each other because... I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Look, fan service! Ooh, and then she just leaves. Like seriously, what the fuck was the point of that scene? Pinky then comes in right after the softcore porno and was like, hey step bro, let's play Smash Brothers together. And he's like, no please, I just got sexually assaulted. No, I mean like, actual Smash Brothers together. Oh wow, you actually meant playing the game? Okay. Yeah, what else could I be talking about? I don't know. I was thinking that you were going to do something unexpected, like the anime dictates you to do. Like what? Well, if we're gonna go to the cliche route, I would assume something like me beating you in a game, which would lead to you getting mad, so you start attacking me in real life and I would accidentally feel your bahonkas. Hey, so, you know how to pin me down now, huh? Don't word it like that. In Jujutsu, we call this a takedown defense. Just shut up and admit that you wanna me already. Huh? I mean, so, Smash Brothers? Huh? Okay, seriously, what is with you guys correcting yourself by saying something that doesn't really change anything? Like, that sentence is still sus as shit. You do realize that, right? Ugh, whatever. I'm not horny anymore.
Excuse me?
Oh, I mean, I'm not interested in this romantic cutscene anymore.
See this? This is what I'm talking about!
Okay, finally. After 2 non-stop chaotic action, we can finally relax and take a break to take it all in. Wait, what? Why is it panning to a closet in a dark room? Say it with me, guys.
What the fuck?
This bitch is seriously the creep of the year.
Why were you on there? Were you just watching it all happen in front of your eyes? For what reason?
No, seriously, for what reason were you there in the first place? Because they decided to play in this game room off of a pure whim. Like literally, they were in the living room together and coincidentally decided to play a game here. So you being there was also a pure coincidence.
But in what situation would you even need to go and hide in a dark closet room?
Well, fine. Whatever the case, now that she saw that steamy situation between Pinky and Alberto, this is probably going to lead her to stop being reckless and actually back down from Alberto, right? She is the most unhinged character I've ever seen and I fucking love it. Remember when I put quotations on Orangey being the best girl? Well, that's because I think Leafy actually deserves that title for this show. I don't care. I don't care. She makes the show so much more entertaining by existing because I never know what the fuck she is going to do next. It's like watching Prime Joker in a rom-com. It's insane, man. Like every time she's on screen, I'm always on the edge of my seat. Also, look at how mad she looks here. You're adorable.
Let's go! Hell yeah! Woo! You go, girl! Oh my god!
Now this is the part when the anime decided to stop being stupid for a second and actually become good. Like, weirdly good. I call this the tennis arc, and in this arc, we get more background on one of the key sisters of the season, Greenie. Greenie throughout the show has always been the cheerful person within the family, but what we didn't know is that while this is her personality, she also feels that it is her responsibility. Outside of the house, she is actually a talented tennis player and is carrying her school team onto tournaments that are very prestigious and important, especially to a senior within that team who Greenie views as her role model, as she is the one who first reached out to her and initially taught her the joys of playing the sport she now loves, until disaster struck, as before the final, she took an injury to the leg and can barely move the way she wants to. After being caught, she had no other choice but to take Greenie out of the competition. Being laid off right before the most important match of her life, especially from the senior that she wanted to do it for in the first place, hit a massive blow to Greenie's psyche. Yet when her siblings heard of the news, all they saw was her being the same cheerful girl as usual, except something feels off. I mean, of course it would. This is pretty much her life and you're telling us that she's unaffected by it? But alas, seeing as she doesn't want to open up, they didn't want to pry any further. Except for none other than Slim Shady. Because as hard as it is to believe, these two are actually twins and have always been raised as twins. So seeing his younger sister being in this position, he couldn't help himself but to look. And as a result, he discovered Greenie's true self as she is breaking down in a secluded area of the house, alone. Knowing this, they couldn't back down and brought up Greenie to actually go to the tournament and beg for a chance to play again. Everyone, even though Orangey couldn't really drive, even though Pinky's always had fights with Greenie, even though Bluey is usually uninterested, they all came together for the sake of their sister, who they view as someone important, who they view as family. And when they hit a traffic jam and all seems lost, Aldo took her on a bike and started sprinting to the arena all by himself. And as they arrive, Aladdin goes down on his knees and pleads for them to give her another chance. Being touched by her brother's dedication, they decided to let her play for the finale. And she's glad. She really is. But this brought a massive pressure on her, the biggest match of the season and her life, and it's a match she has to win to give her senpai the happiness she deserves. Even if she is injured, she feels that it is her responsibility to do so as the best player in the team. But can she even do it? Is she even good enough to pull it off? This is the final. The opponent has to be pretty god tier, right? What if I fail and everybody loses hope in me? but right before she succumbs to the pressure, she heard what she needed to hear the most. She sees her twin brother screaming out her name in support, along with her other siblings, giving her a sense of comfort to not only do her best, but to also calm down, as no matter what happens, there are people who care for her and will always be there for her no matter what. Now she's locked in. Her opponent serves a ball. Bitch, who the fuck do you think I am? Boom! Love 15. I don't know what that means, but that's probably good. Look at this animation, that's better than 90% of Blue Lock Season 2. And look at Greenie tearing this bitch ass up. Let's fucking go, Greenie. Oh, shit. Ankle's acting up? No fucking problem. I am her! Yes! Yeah! Yeah!
お、シンニー。にひひ、負けちゃった。いや、ほんと、バカだよね、私ってば。いろいろ頑張ってくれたのに、ごめん。マジほんと、情けない妹で自分が嫌になっちゃう。じゃあ、行こっか。
待て、ミナミ。
え？おっちょ。シニー、何を？
言ったろ？もう嘘はつくなって。悲しい時は泣け。
ねえ、どうしたら許してもらえるかな。私が世界一のテニスプレイヤーになったらみんな許してくれるかな。どうやったらもっと強くなれる？私もう二度と誰にだって負けたくない。怪我したってベーグルできるぐらい強くなりたい。うまくなりたいよ。強くなりたいよ。
なれるよ、ミナミなら。
Who the hell is cutting the onions, man? Alright, back to the stupid shit. Oh, my shining knight in armor! You really saved me from that bouncy orange ball!
気をつけろよ。
From what? The ball? The ball that I just saw her smush to the floor? The ball that's smaller than my patience from watching this goddamn anime?
インターハイ無理させたのは俺たちなんだから。
Yeah, for her ankles, not her head. And even if it did hit her, so what? It's not gonna hurt. It's a bouncy orange ball. Wait, she's getting wet over this? Maybe there really was something wrong with her head. This 3-episode arc is the perfect representation of the entire show to me. Because I think among the isekai romances, this is one of the better ones out there. I mean really, the way they tackle the relationships and how they change, how the writing is different and not too catered to the male fantasy by, for example, making Limp Bizkit an actual character, or how this crash out by Greenie felt so real that I can actually relate to it as someone who wanted to be an athlete when I was young. And sometimes this anime generally surprised me with the direction they take and actually make me believe that it is good. It's just that when it comes to the romance, it is truly a different thing altogether. I don't know, I think this anime really convinced me that this author knows how to make a good series. But for someone who's only made rom-coms, the romances he makes are hilarious. And it is not on purpose. To really wrap up this video, I'm gonna give one final example, just one more. Because after Leafy's and Greenie's arcs of falling in love with our main character, now we are going to tackle Pinky's, who is a full-on tsundere to the bone, to the point that she was in such a big denial over her feelings to Alcantara that she went on a fucking hike in Mount Fuji and got lost. But somehow he still found her and saved the day really easily. Okay, seriously, this guy has to be a ninja. Now, because of him overexerting himself from saving her, he got sick on the way home. But Pinky uses this to her advantage and confesses to him while he is passed out. And in the weirdest way possible,
私たちは双子でお兄ちゃん。それと私の好きな人でもあるみたい。
yeah, okay. And to end it off, she decides to wrap up the confession with Wow. Sexual harassment. Cool. Okay, but you're sick though. Like, how are you awake? And if you were, why didn't you stop her before she... You know what? Doesn't matter.
Okay guys, so now we have 3 girls who are in love with our main character, and each of those characters needed 3 or more episodes to establish that. So what are we gonna do with the last 2 episodes?
Oh, I know. How about them looking for their biological parents?
Nah, that's too interesting. We'll just hint it at the beginning of the next episode and never really mention it again.
Okay, how about some more fan service?
Yeah, that's fine, but we can't do that for 2 entire episodes.
I got it. How about we make those 3 girls fight to the death?
That is genius. We gotta write that down. I mean, we're not gonna do that, but we'll do something similar.
シンニーのことが好き。ごめん、本当のこと。これからは嫌でもライバルになっちゃうけど、お互い正々堂々と。私も新たなことが好き。ごめんことな。正直私たちの気持ちは関係ない。誰が結ばれても文句はいい子なしだよ。
How about none of y'all? I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed, but so far he's shown absolutely no romantic interest in any of you guys. Sure, he gets flustered and blushes every now and again, but that doesn't necessarily equate to romance. Apart from maybe Pinky, he didn't take any of their confessions to heart. And the only reason he's even thinking about Pinky's confession is because she kissed him while he was asleep. And so finally, last but not least, the anime season ends with this scene that says among them, there is someone actually related.
Okay.
Am I missing something? Cause I mean, don't we already know that? Like, didn't they just make an entire arc about Logic being related to Greenie? What are you talking about? Or do you mean among these 3? Like, one of them is related to the main character? Well, if that's true, why would you say that? Isn't it already weird enough that this is a romance between step-siblings, but now you're making us play a game of Among Us Chromosome Edition? Russian Roulette? Inbred version? I don't even care anymore. This anime is so fun. Like I said, this anime has lots of moments that surprise me with how unexpectedly good it becomes at times, but the romance in itself, which is arguably the biggest factor in the show, is not really that good. I mean, even when all these girls knew they liked the main character, their way of flirting is so lazy. They literally asked the same thing. I don't know if that's intentional because they were raised as sisters, but either way, I couldn't care too much because these bad romances were also strangely one of the reasons I kept watching the show in the first place. Cause god damn it, it's just so entertaining, and I think that's a pretty big part in an anime. If I were to review this objectively and look at it the way a standard reviewer does, I would probably give this a 6 out of 10. But as a comedy, 9 out of 10s across the board, baby. So overall, I'm gonna sit back and leave the Shiunji family with a final solid score of 8 out of 10. I'm in the middle of moving back to my country, Indonesia right now, so I haven't had too much time making videos, but I'll make it up by dropping more in the future. Also follow my Instagram, Twitter that I barely use, and Patreon if you want to see uncensored versions of my videos. And okay, that's it, bye.